Hello, welcome to the Fake Sharp YouTube page. We are going to talk about the quarterback transfer portal today. Actually, on that note, Steak, do you know officially when the transfer portal opened? Today is Monday, January 5th, as we're starting this. Has it been open for a day? 2 days?
No, I think it's more like 3 or 4 if I had to guess.
Okay, well, the reason I ask is because we've got this pool of players, but we're just going to focus on the quarterbacks. I think that's where the names are more recognizable, and what we or the casual college football fan will enjoy listening to, and at least getting caught up to speed on now. You know who's available, still searching, visiting, or who's got a landing spot. We'll give you our quick thoughts on what we think about it. I think we can be in and out of here under 20 minutes. But before we start, we looked at On3, which is a very popular college football Twitter account, website, whatever, and they had these power rankings of the quarterbacks. This was 2 days ago, January 3rd. This was tweeted out. I don't know that you necessarily agree with this, but I thought we should reference it. The top 10 quarterbacks available in the transfer portal. I was pretty shocked to see Sam Levitt was number one. Am I wrong? Is he?
I don't think he's number one, and I don't think Sorsby's number 6. Sorsby under Raiola is crazy. I'll be honest with you, and I think On3 does get accused of this a little bit. This feels a little baiting.
Okay. Then we're not going to put too many of our eggs in that basket of the rankings, but it was just something I came across when we were doing some research because, yes, I think Sorsby, Josh Hoover, Mestamaker probably sound like they should be the top 1 to 3 guys. So in no particular order, I've got a list of names. Let's go through them, talk about where they're visiting, talk about where they've ended up, and see if we do or don't like it. Let's start with your boy. You're a Gators fan from the University of Florida, DJ Lagway. So I searched his name. By the way, I just kept using the Twitter search tool. I think it's by far the best, better than Google or anything else, because it is hilarious to see some of the jokes that people have of whether they are Gator fans, whether they're other fans who are trying to lure these players in, or like stuff you see from message boards. College football fans are fucking crazy. So all I really gathered from DJ Lagway is he visited Florida State, and he's also set to visit Virginia.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep.
I guess I'm kind of surprised because going into the season, this was a guy who people were talking about winning the Heisman. A lot of things changed. I know he got injured. I know he was injured going into the year. Billy Napier got fired. Bad coach. I think this dude could be really good in a better situation. But you've watched DJ Lagway play a lot more football than me. So what do you think about him, and where do you think he should end up?
Well, let me just say I have no animosity towards DJ Lagway unless he goes to Florida State, and then I will have a lot of animosity towards him. I understand the transfer portal makes college football a new thing, and I have to accept that. But if you transfer from Florida to Florida State, no, thank you. I'm out on you as a guy completely. I think also it's important to remember that DJ Lagway, one of the highest ranked quarterback recruits in Florida Gator history, and he was tied to Billy Napier. Everyone said, like, no, you can't judge Billy Napier until he gets his guy in here and we get to see how he coaches with his guy. His guy was DJ Lagway. So that's a lot of pressure on DJ Lagway to be the savior of a really proud football program that's been really awful for the last, I don't know, when's the last time the Gators were good? 10, 15 years? I mean, they're not good. And he was the savior, and it went awful. We were 4-8. He's injured. He threw 5 interceptions against LSU. Why would you want to go to FSU, a program in a pretty similar position? FSU's had one good season in recent memory, and their pretty much thing there was that they got left out of the playoff as an undefeated team. That's the only good season I can remember. After that, they were 2-10. Guess who else is on the hot seat? Mike Norvell. So you mentioned Virginia. Let me go there. A little less pressure. Let me go somewhere like Virginia. Let me go to Baylor. I'm from Texas. Let me go to Baylor, man. High-flying offense, way less pressure, Big 12 defenses. I would pick Virginia or Baylor all day before I would ever go to Florida State if I was DJ.
Very good take. There's nothing that desirable for me at Florida State, and I say that mainly because, I mean, it's a fun school, good football school, a great, tradition, but Mike Norvell does not make it move. So nothing about him or like the offense. I don't really even know when the last, draft prospect came out of Florida State on the offensive side of the ball that's been exciting. Dalvin Cook,
Trey Benson.
Yeah, Trey Benson, I guess, is a good one. So yeah, that one's kind of weird. I'm with you. I think him going to Florida State would be weird. But let's talk about who you think should end up at Florida State a little bit later, because as I went through some of these names, he's certainly not the only guy that they're going after.
No.
All right, Brendan Sorsby committed to Texas Tech, $5 million. I saw during my search that he is making more than Shedeur Sanders is making from all of his rookie deals, not from getting paid by the Browns, but from sponsorships and everything like that. Sanders is making $4.6 million. So what a crazy day and age for college football. I mean, back in my day, you'd get excited about a freshman coming in, even if your team was kind of mediocre, like you had a junior or senior quarterback, but it's like, all right, at least I can look forward to the guy waiting in the wings, the 5-star, 4-star that we recruited. He's learning. Maybe he redshirted, maybe he didn't. This feels like free agency. It's now free agency for college football. Yeah, yep. You'll have one guy, and then next it's like, who can we get? In a way, from an outsider's perspective of like just doing this, the matchmaking part of it is kind of exciting. But from the college football purist, like old head fan, I hate it. However, I digress. Sorsby goes to Texas Tech. We now know this year they have the second most expensive roster in college football. They are backed by like some 40-year-old alumni who's an oil tycoon all of a sudden. How that happens in this day and age at that age is crazy, but good for them. So they're going to shell out money. Sorsby came down to LSU and Texas Tech. Apparently, do you think he made the right choice?
For him, yeah, he's more of a Texas Tech guy than an LSU guy for me. I think he made the right choice. I would always say taking $5 million to play the game you love is the right choice. I think it's also the right choice for Texas Tech. And I think how bad Behren Morton was in that playoff game against Oregon drove the price up. I know it sounds hilarious to say, but we know that this roster's loaded. We know that the Big 12 is awful. And guess what? Texas Tech's going to run the Big 12 next year, but they can't end up in the same position where quarterback play kills them. The defense kept them in that game. Running game was fine. Everything was fine except quarterback play was abysmal by Behren Morton. And now you're down to the Final Four. If you're Texas Tech, what do you see? 4 teams with transfer quarterbacks. Every team left in the Final Four has a transfer quarterback, and you need one too. You might as well go get the best one. For me, I think Sorsby's my number one. I'll take him over Levitt. I'll take him over Hoover. I'll take him over Byron Brown, who I actually really like. I think this is a great get, and if you got the money, you should go get him.
Yeah. Okay. Well said. Let's talk about Sam Levitt for a second. So sorry, I am sick, by the way. I should probably pop a cough drop in, but we're going to power through. Oh, while you're here, we rebranded. We are the Fake Sharps, by the way. You probably knew us as the Degenerate. Please follow and subscribe to the YouTube page if you're not already. Like the stream. Leave a comment if you agree or disagree with anything we're saying. All right. So Sam Levitt was a quarterback of Arizona State. They went to the playoff. They had a nice run. They were an exciting team. He was their quarterback going into last season, and then all of a sudden, I think he got injured, but apparently some weird shit happened. Jeff Sims finishes out the year. Sam Levitt is now in the transfer portal. He's been rumored to go to Kentucky, but nothing is official. I retweeted something that blew up, and I don't know if it's real or not, or anywhere like close to being real, but there were reports that Kentucky were going to pay him $5 to $7 million. Absolutely insane. So I want to make it clear, like, I don't know if that is the case or not, but I wanted to reference this tweet that I saw, and I don't know if it's real, but it's by a guy named Benjamin Garcia. It's got 2.1 million views on Twitter, and he has a theory about why Sam Levitt left Arizona State. And this is pretty interesting. He says Coach Kenny Dillingham kicked him off the team. Apparently, there's a basketball story of him rolling his ankle playing basketball, and it pissed off Dillingham while he was getting paid $3 million of NIL money. Report of entering the transfer portal before the season ended, and Kenny's pissed that he's talking to teams in the season. And then his apparently his brother tried to backtrack that report. Levitt did not go to the banquet. He entered the transfer portal with do not contact because he was talking to Kentucky in the middle of the season, chooses Kentucky over anywhere else. And Sam Levitt, he was kicked off the team. I just can't prove it yet. I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. Maybe I kind of botched that a little bit as I was reading the tweet, and it's not worded that well, but weird shit going on. Do you want Sam Levitt on your football team?
Talent-wise?
Yes.
Yeah. Talent-wise, I do, for sure. If I'm Kentucky, I freak out about the opportunity to get him. I think it's the stupidest thing he could do for his career. It's
Yeah.
not only a lateral move, it's a stupid lateral move. It's probably not even a lateral move. Kentucky's worse than Arizona State. I don't even understand how you go from Kentucky to Arizona State and play SEC defenses. And I said that on one of your tweets, and a lot of people are throwing me like, "Oh, you overrate the SEC." No, I don't. No, I don't. SEC not that impressive this year, no doubt, but they're definitely better defensively than they are offensively. And what's the Big 12 known for? Not playing a lick of defense. You want to go from Arizona State to Kentucky? For $7 million, sure. It makes no sense. And it doesn't make sense for Kentucky either. Spread that money out. Get some more talent. You guys are awful. You have a brutal schedule next year. It's like the Bengals. It's like give all your money to Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and T. Higgins, and all of a sudden you don't have an offensive line or a defense. I have no idea what Kentucky's plan is there. It sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, somebody said, I don't know if it was Josh Pate or Brandon Walker, but like the coach there, Mark Stoops, just like has the best gig of all time. Like every year.
Fired.
Right. Sorry. He did have the best gig. Every year he would go like 6-6 or 7-5, and he was getting paid millions of dollars. But yeah, so okay, now he's gone. Who is the new head coach of Kentucky? Do we know?
Oh, Stein? Is that right?
Nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who it would be. Ball knowledge from us, but again, we're semi-casual here. All right. Next guy, Drew Mestemaker, quarterback from North Texas, commits to Oklahoma State. I believe they got the North Texas head coach, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure did.
So he brings him over. I didn't know a lot about this kid other than he was coming out of nowhere this year. North Texas had a great offense. He was throwing for a fuck ton of yards left and right. Then I looked it up. 0-star recruit. Didn't start one game in high school. In 2023, he posted a video on Twitter of himself, his own highlight reel, just saying he wanted an opportunity. What a story this guy is. Now he's one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the transfer portal. Don't know how much he's getting paid. I don't really have any strong thoughts on this. I mean, it's a quarterback following his coach, going to a bigger program. Oklahoma State, got down in the dumps with Gundy. He's gone. What else am I going to say? I mean, I like it. Good for this kid. Hopefully he's getting paid. I'm assuming he is getting paid. I'm rooting for him.
100%. And they got the entire offense. They got a stud receiver. They got Caleb Hawkins, the running back from North Texas. And I'm sorry, it's crazy to say that Oklahoma State got so much better by taking all of North Texas's offense. They got so much better. Oklahoma State will be so much better this year than they were last year, where they were unwatchable. Very, very bad. I feel like at one point there was chats of 4 different quarterbacks starting for this team. Now they have their guy, they have their running back, they have their receiver, they have a reason to want to play there. Like I think you should be really excited if you're Oklahoma State, what you did. I think Drew Mestemaker is the real deal, and I think those weapons are the real deal too.
Stillwater? Is that where they're at? Stillwater, Oklahoma? Yeah. Stillwater, Oklahoma, not down in the dumps for too long. Looks like help is on the way. All right, let's go to the next guy, Byron Brown. Fun quarterback.
Real quick, just because I feel like we should circle back to this. Will Stein is the Kentucky head coach. He was the Oregon offensive coordinator, and he played quarterback at the University of Louisville.
Got it. Okay. Oregon offensive coordinator right now.
Yeah.
That's right. Their DC and their OC are taking head coaching jobs, isn't that?
Yep. And also worth mentioning that it's believed that Sam Levitt will talk to Kentucky and Oregon. A little bit of interesting back and forth there.
Okay. All right. Byron Brown, USF quarterback, 3,100 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 14 rushing touchdowns. This guy was awesome. I loved watching him play football. USF had a couple bad losses here and there, but head coach Alex Golish, another guy that I think is really good. I thought Auburn hit a home run hiring him. Yep. There is nothing official, but Byron Brown is rumored to join Alex Golish at Auburn. However, Steak, we have on our list another guy from Auburn, Deuce Knight. I think he was the quarterback who played against Alabama, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Highly recruited guy. I thought he looked okay, for getting his first lick of action, and he was going to leave, but now there's some things going around on Twitter that he's coming back, and Byron Brown might go there.
Yeah.
Don't know that's going to happen, but that's the rumor.
It's not going to happen, but I think it's a wait and see thing. And I also think we're going to go over these quarterbacks, and quite a few of them are going to go follow their coach, You're going to talk about the Penn State kid going to Virginia Tech. Obviously, you're going to talk about Iowa State kids going to Penn State. In this instance, let's suppose that Auburn keeps Deuce Knight and that Byron Brown doesn't go to Auburn. It's the most obvious fit, but everyone's going to tell you that. I have a weird one that I've heard nobody mention. Byron Brown couldn't be the starting quarterback for Miami next year. Is that not a really good fit?
I haven't heard of Miami being a suitor for anyone. Do they have somebody in the wings or something that I don't know about?
They don't. They don't.
Why not a school that I haven't heard come up too often, except for missing out on Sorsby, is LSU. Why couldn't Byron Brown go to LSU? No?
It's not the craziest thing. I haven't heard that even mentioned whatsoever. But yeah, it's not that crazy. It doesn't feel like a horrible fit to me either.
Oh, I haven't seen LSU mentioned for almost anybody.
I know it's weird because Nussmeier's gone. Van Buren just entered the transfer portal. It's not like they have to get a quarterback, and it feels like only a few guys left that are the caliber that you'd expect for Lane Kiffin. But maybe Lane Kiffin's got the bag.
Well, I'm rooting for Brown wherever he goes. I'll be supporting him. Next dude, Jackson Arnold. He was the highly touted recruit that went to Oklahoma. He looked well. He showed some signs of I guess potential, you could say, at Oklahoma, but they moved on from him. He left. He goes to Auburn. He comes out blazing with that week 1 performance against Baylor, but ended up finding out that Baylor kind of sucked. And Jackson Arnold does not work out at Auburn. Now he is rumored to join Dan Mullen at UNLV. I think that would be a great fit for a kid like him. But I can't tell you that I'm the biggest Jackson Arnold fan. So I'm not too excited to back him wherever he ends up, but that sounds like a good spot.
Yeah. I think he has similarities to Orji at Michigan. And I think someone said it in our Discord, but I think it's perfect. Dan Mullen is kind of turning UNLV into Last Chance U. You're going to be Jackson Arnold. No other SEC teams are taking you. You're not getting another starting job at an SEC school or any Big Ten schools. Most likely, maybe there's a few of the crappier Big Ten schools that would take you, but I don't think so, man. I don't think Jackson Arnold's very good. I think we've seen enough of him play football. There wasn't enough growth from year 1 to year 2 at Oklahoma to Auburn. Like you said, great game against Baylor. Then it turns out Baylor can't guard a parked car. So yeah, I think this is the perfect fit only because I don't know another fit. That is
well said.
He's like the opposite of the Drew Mestamakers and the Colton Josephs.
Yep.
He's going down. And so UNLV is the best fit I could think of just because what's better.
Next guy, Michael Hawkins. Speaking of former Oklahoma quarterbacks, rumored to join West Virginia and Rich Rodriguez over there. I got nothing on this. I mean, he seems like he could be a fun player. I think winning 6 or 7 games at West Virginia sounds like his ceiling.
Yeah. If he could be a fun player, he could do it at West Virginia. There's I feel like very little pressure. Another good fit. I don't think he's very good either, but I actually would believe it that he could be good before I believe Jackson Arnold could be good, to be completely honest.
Agreed. All right, let's get back to some big names here. I can't get too excited about anything Wisconsin does because I thought Luke Fickell was a home run hire, and he has been terrible. He's coming back. He's going to stay there another year, and now they get Colton Joseph, who is Old Dominion's quarterback. He went 9-3 at Old Dominion. This kid looks good. I went and watched a couple highlights with him. He had a great game on the road against Indiana.
Yep.
He can run, he can throw. This is probably just, again, in terms of like fit, there's no school that is starving for a quarterback more than Wisconsin. There's just not. All the way back to like Brooks Bollinger. So, you got to be excited if you're a Wisconsin Badgers fan, right?
Oh my God. I'm so excited if I'm a Wisconsin Badgers fan, mostly because it's something different than what they normally do. And I don't know what it is about the University of Wisconsin or schools in general, but like, I'm so much more excited about a Colton Joseph or a Drew Mestamaker, guys you see do it at a small school, than I am about a Tanner Mordecai or a Tyler Van Dyke who don't do it at big schools. And for some reason, people tell themselves like, let me get that reject from the University of Miami or that reject from SMU before I take that young star from Old Dominion or North Texas, because at least Miami, they play Clemson and they play FSU. It's like, no. We watched Tyler Van Dyke play football. He's not good at it. Mm-hmm. Why would you want him? We watched Colton Joseph play football. He's good at it. I would take that guy every time. So from Wisconsin, it's like, finally, you're doing something different. Billy Edwards. Joel Stave, Jack Cohn. I could just name the list of really bad Wisconsin quarterbacks, and I would be super excited if I'm Wisconsin.
Did you say Tanner Mordecai yet?
Tanner Mordecai, SMU. Horrible. Not good. Not good at SMU. Not good at Wisconsin.
I will never forget when I watched the spring game because I was going to make Wisconsin over Wins a huge play, and he threw 4 interceptions in the spring game, and people kept telling me like, "Don't put too much stock in that." I'm like, I don't know, man. It just didn't look good.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going down the list. Josh Hoover commits to Indiana. Fucking home run. For whatever reason, Indiana is just like a magnet to all the top players at schools around the country right now. We're not going to talk about other positions, but I mean, they're getting the top edge rusher. They're getting the receiver, Nick Marsh from Michigan State. They're getting running backs. Now they get Josh Hoover. I bet on Josh Hoover to win the Heisman. I bet on TCU over Wins. I love Josh Hoover. I think this is a fantastic quarterback that Indiana just got, and there's no reason that they can't win the national championship with him at that position. Do you agree?
100% home run hire. I think it's a wonderful fit. You said it. They're getting everyone. They got, I think his name's Turbo Richard or something. Boston College. I mean, they're just getting studs everywhere. They are a magnet. He wants to play for Kurt Cignetti. They're very quickly just becoming a college football powerhouse, and that's a home run. I like Josh Hoover a lot.
Yeah. It just happened in the blink of an eye. Cignetti goes there and just everybody wants to play. I mean, good dude. Well, I don't know if he's a good dude, but good coach. And gotta like what's going on over there. All right, another guy, Rocco Becht, commits to Penn State. Rocco Becht, Matt Campbell, they go from Iowa State to Penn State. I mean, look, we like Rocco Becht. We were Rocco Becht guys coming into the season. Kind of a little disappointing. Started off great. I think they started off 5-0, lost the next 4. I can't get that game out of my head at Colorado where they just look so pathetic. They didn't even get off the fucking bus. I don't really have high hopes, to be honest with you. Are they going to get more talent going from Iowa State to Penn State to play with for I don't know how many more years Rocco Becht has, another year? I don't know, maybe, but I don't know, man. Like 8-4 just feels right for these two. So good get. Like, I guess if I'm a Penn State fan, good get. But am I popping champagne? No.
So I agree with mostly everything you said. We're Rocco Becht guys. I'm not a Matt Campbell guy. I had that take on Twitter, and I kind of got a lot of pushback about how he doesn't have the resources, and that's fine. I think he has more resources than people want to admit. They act like it's like North Texas or something. It's not. It's still Iowa State. I think they're 40th in NIL, which isn't actually that low, but totally fine. He didn't have that much talent. He's going to go to Penn State. He's going to have way more resources. I'm buying into them next year because the schedule's so easy. I don't think they play Indiana, Ohio State, or Michigan. I mean, like, it's one of the easiest schedules you're ever going to see. And that's like a dream scenario, I think, for your first year at Penn State, where you know the expectations are super high from the jump. So I will buy them there. I think Rocco Becht can handle that schedule that he has ahead of him next year. Am I buying Matt Campbell at Penn State moving forward? I guess that depends on what you would consider buying. But do I think I'll have them competing for national championships? Not at all. But I think Rocco Becht could win 10 games at Penn State next year and maybe be right outside the playoff, top 15 in the country. I don't think it's that crazy.
Okay. All right. You sound a little bit more enthused about that than I do, but I'm not going to jump off the Rocco Becht train just yet. Dylan Raiola. What the fuck is going on with this guy? Did I pull down those power rankings? No, I had the power rankings up. They have Dylan Raiola at number 5 on this, ahead of Sorsby, Lagway, Becht, but right behind Josh Hoover. I don't know, man. This guy is the only thing I can find on him is that he's rumored to maybe visit or have a connection with Oregon. I don't even really know that I see that. That seems like too good of a program to have Dylan Raiola.
It does. Maybe we're underselling Dylan Raiola. That wouldn't go for me.
Because Dylan Raiola came into Nebraska where it was like, whoa, the Nebraska's, he could have gone to a much better school. Like Nebraska's the lucky one in this relationship.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe he was better than other quarterbacks that had been Nebraska previously, but he didn't blow me away. He didn't change them. He wasn't good enough to make them win, 9-10 games, at least I remember. I'm certainly not like, I wouldn't say sell all your Dylan stock, but it's taken a big hit. So do you see a fit for this guy anywhere?
I see the fit not being Oregon. I could not back Dylan Raiola going to Oregon. I wouldn't sell all your Dylan Raiola stock either, unless it was at the University of Oregon. I think that would be a really bad fit.
Right.
If I was him, I'd be looking for a smaller school, not a bigger school.
Agreed.
I've already had to deal with all these expectations. Another kind of thing like DJ Lagway and the Gators. You go to Nebraska and these fans are just exhausted. They've been bad for so long, but they won a national championship in the 96, 97, 2000, whatever it was with Eric Crouch. They used to be a dominant program, and now they're just bad for 20 years, losing
Mhm.
6 games every year. And those type of fan bases, I think, are the toughest to play for. I say that as a
Mhm.
Florida Gators fan. I would want a little bit of a break if I was doing I'll play somewhere, man. Take me, I don't even know, Michigan State. I'm just throwing
Yeah,
some.
that's what I thought in my head too, I swear.
Let's take me there.
Yeah, okay. Totally agree. Speaking of Michigan State, Aiden Childs, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly.
Miles.
Rumored maybe to go to Clemson. Maybe to go to Clemson. Nothing too serious. I don't think he's good enough to go to a school like Clemson. But then again, Clemson's a school that's going fucking 6-6 now. So maybe I need to put them down on my power rankings of schools where guys like Aiden Childs will end up. What do you think about that, or him?
I will have an official funeral for the Clemson Tigers as a whole, their football program as a whole, if they take Aiden Childs to be their starting quarterback next year. That can't happen. And I don't know what they're going to do. I have no idea what the plan is. It cannot be Aiden Childs. We're looking at Dabo Swinney's potential last year, right? I mean, like, how long
Yeah.
it's going to be with Aiden Childs?
Yeah.
That just feels crazy. I'd say that absolutely can't happen. Talk about another guy that should just go play at a small school.
Dylan Raiola to Clemson.
I think that's a much better fit than Aiden.
Better
Childs.
fit. Yeah. Okay. In the ACC, CJ Bailey's going back to NC State.
Oh, that's official?
From what I saw on Twitter a couple hours ago, yes.
Really? Okay,
Yep.
that's interesting. I thought he was actually a really interesting prospect.
And then Anthony Calandria from UNLV, good player, fun quarterback.
Yeah.
He's visiting FSU as well, and Georgia Tech could be an interesting one. Not at all the type of quarterback Haynes King is. So I feel like maybe if you add an element of like a guy who's a little bit more explosive to that Georgia Tech offense, it would be interesting because I really like their coach.
I like their coach too. They lost their OC to the Gators.
That's right. We'll talk about that in a second.
He also took their quarterback, Aaron Philo, who Georgia Tech really liked. I think they were very upset about losing him. And that was kind of the whole thing with the OC. Once he left, the rumors immediately started about Philo. He hasn't had that much game action, but when he comes in, he's pretty good. He led, like, I want to say, a comeback win against Miami. A lot of people think Tramel Jones will be the starter for the Gators next year. I think it's going to be this Philo kid with his OC, personally. And for Georgia Tech, I think Calandra is a better fit at FSU. Let's just say that. I think that's a pretty good fit, better than DJ Lagway, just much less pressure. I think a very good quarterback who had a very good year at UNLV that Mike Norvell can work with. Georgia Tech, I have no idea what kind of football team they're going to be. I like Key too, like you said, but they did lose their OC and they lost their quarterback who plays a very specific style of quarterback, and then they lost their backup quarterback. I think it's a tough place to go play right now. Like, if I'm a quarterback, I'm weary of going to play at Georgia Tech, I think.
I'm with you. Yeah. And very with you on Calandria at FSU sounds like a good fit. The Philo guy going to Florida is interesting. So are you excited as a Gators fan?
I'm excited about the fact that an OC came and said, we really want this guy.
Yeah.
I like guys who like their guys. I kind of thought before Lane Kiffin went to LSU, Lane Kiffin was sort of doing that about Trinidad Chambliss. Pulling Trinidad Chambliss from Ferris State and then having him be this good, if he was still the coach, I think he would be just getting glazed for doing that. And I know that it took an Austin Simmons injury. Don't get me wrong, but it was the fact that he came in replacement of Austin Simmons so quick and was so good. Like, Trinidad Chambliss has been really good all year. And so I like that, but I watched some highlights just because I have to. I think he looks like a gamer for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of Austin Simmons, rumored to go to Missouri, nothing too strong. Not sure if you can see it. There were some fans on the comments that I was going down that just could not believe he started to begin with. Apparently he's thrown more interceptions in 2 or 3 games played than Chambliss has all season.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was accurate. I did not fact check, and then people were saying, oh, he only started because he has a 4.5 GPA. I did some research on Ole Miss, and I don't remember, if you remember me sending you some clips on Austin Simmons, but he's like a really, really soft, but nice and intelligent kid. So he's a guy that I really think the fit has to line up for.
Yeah.
But I think he's uber talented.
So do I. I think I will go down. I will plant my flag in being an Austin Simmons believer.
Yeah.
I think I actually predict Austin Simmons will go somewhere better than you think.
Mhm.
Fans will be disappointed about getting him, and it
Mhm.
will work out. That's my
Love that.
prediction for how this is
Love
going to
that.
go for Austin Simmons.
Love that.
I'll throw something crazy out there. This is going to be really crazy, and it's probably going to sound really stupid when it doesn't come close to happening. I don't think Austin Simmons at LSU is the worst fit.
I see that. That's kind of what I was getting at. I think he's too soft spoken and like nice of a kid. I don't know if LSU is for him. I think they're too. They're
Even with
expecting.
Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, I guess that connection makes it a little bit easier. I thought you were going to say like fucking Boston College.
I think he's going to go somewhere bigger, man.
Wow. Okay.
Georgia Tech is a good one.
Georgia Tech. Oh, I would love that. I would love that. Georgia Tech would be great. Yep. Okay. Central Florida got a guy named Alonzo Barnett, Sun Belt Player of the Year. He threw for 2,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions from James Madison. I watched him play against Louisville, and I watched him play against Oregon. I remember early in the season against Louisville, I was like, holy fuck, James Madison's offense is pretty good. And then, they only scored 6 points in the first half against Oregon, but potential. People really like the fit with him and Scott Frost's offense, so that could be something to keep an eye on.
I like anything for UCF, anything besides what they had this year. They're one of the worst teams in the Big 12. Mm-hmm. They shouldn't be. It doesn't make sense. And I think this is such a good get for UCF. You have to be so excited. And then you got to love what he did in the playoff game when they just got punched in the mouth by Oregon and they still showed up, put up some points. He was impressive. He moved the ball up and down the field. I think he's impressive all year. I don't think he's a great passer. I'll say that. I think he has some Marcel Reed in him where I'm not trusting him to make big throws when it matters, but I think he's such a good get for UCF compared to what they had. And you got to be really impressed with what they're able to do at JMU 2 years after Cignetti just takes the entire team with him to Indiana. Like, it's pretty amazing. And I think Barnett gets a lot of credit for that.
With you. Yeah, with you on that. All right, 2 more guys, and then we'll wrap it up. Kenny Minchey in Nebraska. Backup quarterback for Notre Dame. Most people don't know this, but I can tell you as a Notre Dame fan and someone who did some research going into the season for Notre Dame, CJ Carr and Kenny Minchey were like neck and neck for the starting quarterback job. Steve Angeli was a great backup last season. He left for Syracuse. They played the spring game, and both guys dueled it out. But everybody thought that CJ Carr was the slam dunk starter for Notre Dame. But Kenny Minchey started to perform really, really well in practice. And people said like every time CJ Carr was making a mistake, like Kenny Minchey would just kind of shine. He is apparently really, really good with his legs. He can throw the ball, but CJ Carr is a more pure quarterback. And they almost started him week 1 against Miami because their pass rush is so good and they wanted to go with a guy who can run. He never really got a ton of playing time. He's going to Nebraska. I think this kid is a very good quarterback for a school like Nebraska. And for that reason, they will be on my radar as a team to bet on more than against, despite of Matt Rule being a fucking loser. But I don't know if you have anything to add on to the Kenny Minchey.
I have never seen the kid play quarterback. I did listen to Josh Pate. Seemed to think this was a home run.
Yeah.
And I'm excited if I'm Nebraska simply to move on from the Dylan Raiola thing, just fresh start. Yep. I've never seen this kid play a quarterback, so that's about all I could add there.
I think Nebraska fans will love it. In terms of like, seems like a really good kid, smart quarterback player, has arm talent, and can run the football, which is great. So last one, and then we'll wrap it up. Grunkmeyer to Virginia Tech. This one's official, I believe.
Oh, is it? That just happened.
I think so. I think it just happened. He goes and joins James Franklin. This was a quarterback at Penn State. Talk about a home run. I think this is a home run. Really. I like Grunkmeyer. I liked what I saw. I watched, for whatever fucking reason, Grunkmeyer play more football games than I'd like to admit because I was betting on Penn State a little bit more than I'd like to admit. But where he started, I think his first game of getting in was it at Iowa after Franklin got fired? Or maybe it was the game before.
Sounds right.
He did not look that good. But he started getting better and better and better and a little bit more confident. Now, granted, some of the teams he was playing were checked out or the seasons were over, like Nebraska. When they played Nebraska, he was dealing. I think he's got potential. This is perfect for a school like Virginia Tech, who if they go 8-4, they're going to fucking party their ass off. So I love it.
I don't think I'm as positive as you, but I'm not negative either because I don't know what the other options were. I was kind of excited. I felt like one of the least impressive things about James Franklin at Penn State was quarterback development.
Yeah.
Never thought you would say, wow, James Franklin really got the most out of that quarterback. So I didn't know that I expected him to bring a guy from Penn State. Like, I get what we're seeing. Byron Brown will probably go play for Golish, and Rocco Beck's going to play for Matt Campbell. But, like, those were their guys for years. And I didn't know that Grunkmeyer was going to Virginia Tech. I'll be honest. I kind of thought there'd be a fresh start there. So it's not my favorite thing ever, but I'm sure it could work just fine. And I'm sure he's probably star-wise more talented than anybody else that Virginia Tech has as an option right now. So I just don't hate about it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Steak, who out of these are you most excited about? Which match? Don't say Hoover to Indiana. And don't say Sorsby.
Who am I most excited about? Which match? I would be really excited about whatever team gets Byron Brown, but that's not answering your question. And I think Drew Mestamaker is I take it back. I'm most excited about what Colton Joseph can do at Wisconsin. A really pathetically bad program lately, and man, just 7 wins would be exciting. 8 wins would be so exciting if you're Wisconsin. I'm excited because Wisconsin's a school you're used to being, competitive, solid 9-10 win school, Absolutely. And I think he's the right guy.
Love it. All right. I totally agree with you. Okay. That's it. QB Transfer Portal Chaos. Steak. We'll check you later. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Like the stream, subscribe to the page. We'll check you next time. Have a great day. Peace.